The festival of Shavuot, what's it all about? Hi, I'm Rabbi Lewin. I'm so glad you've clicked onto my video. So, what is festival of Shavuot? Shavuot is a 2-day festival in the diaspora, i.e. the communities outside of the land of Israel, but only one day in Israel. It traditionally falls on the 6th and the 7th of the month of Sivan, exactly 7 weeks after the festival of Pesach, and hence the name, Shavuot, Hebrew for weeks. We have counted 7 weeks, known as the counting of the Omer, which has linked the festival of Pesach to the festival of Shavuot. What happens on Shavuot? Well, there are 2 things to think about. Number 1, historically, it is a time when the Jewish people stood at the foot of Mount Sinai to receive the Torah from God. It was an event that was so unique in the history of the world that is only brought down in Jewish scripture as an event. No other religion, no other nation has a story quite like it. The people standing at the foot of the mountain, the voice of God booming from above as they are given the 10 Commandments. That is the historical story. There is another side to the festival, which is, of course, the agricultural side. Shavuot always falls at the beginning of the summer season in the land of Israel, the beginning of the wheat harvest, and forms the start of this time of the year. It is the time of bringing of the first fruits to Jerusalem in the days of the temple. With great fanfare, the pilgrims would arrive carrying their baskets of new fruit to be presented to the Kohen in Jerusalem. He would bless them and bless their fruits. The farmer would make a declaration about his connection to the Jewish people and to the land of Israel. So what do we do on this festival of Shavuot? Well, there's a number of wonderful traditions, ranging from special foods to some wonderful texts that we study and we read. So let's jump into it. The first one is that we have dairy products. Why do we eat dairy products on Shavuot? Well, there's a number of reasons for this. Number 1, the Hebrew word for dairy is chalav. The numerical value for chalav is chet lamed bet, which is 40, and remind us of the 40 days that Moses was on Mount Sinai receiving the instruction which become known as Torah. The word chalav itself, milk, it also reminds us of what a baby is all about, that a baby is sustained by the milk of its mother. Milk is a symbol of life. The Torah is what has sustained the Jewish people throughout the generations and is a symbol of our life too. So it also connects us to the land of Israel, which is called Eretz Zavat Chalav U'Davash, and hence the other themes of the festival as described in the Torah about being kind and being caring for the poor of the land. Of course, we can't just have milk, and we allow the Jewish tradition to kick in. Hence the idea of cheesecake or cheese and macaroni or pizza, and of course what has become very popular amongst kids today and adults, of course, is ice cream parties. So there you have where we get the tradition of the milk. Another tradition we have is staying up all night, known as Tikkun Leil. The idea of a Tikkun Leil is a sign of expectation. We want to stay up, studying the Torah. We're about to receive it. We want to prepare ourselves for this. The Medrash tells us a fascinating story that on the morning of the giving of the Torah, the Jewish people overslept. Can you believe that? Overslept. And God had to wake them. As a tikkun, as a correction for that mistake, the Jewish people stay up all night in anticipation for the study of the Torah to stand at the foot of Mount Sinai. On the morning of Shavuot for day 1, we all go in the Torah. We read from the section of Exodus chapter 19 and 20, reading about the preparation of the sounds and lights that surrounded us on that fateful day. We hear the 10 Commandments being read, and the tradition is to stand up with reverence and respect in hearing the words of those 10 Commandments. So Tikkun Leil, staying up all night, reading of the 10 Commandments. Another tradition we have is known as Akadamut. Akadamut is an Aramaic poem which was composed in the 12th century and it highlights the praises for the Torah and the study of the Torah. It is part of an ancient tradition known as the Targum, which means translation. In days gone by, only Hebrew was read in shul. People didn't understand the Hebrew text and required a translation. This translation was in Aramaic. And to remember that event, we read the Akadamut. Akadamut means introduction, talking about, and if you read it, the Akadamut, which is in Aramaic, but you read the English translation of the Aramaic, you will see that it's all about the praise of God, the praise of the Torah, and the praise of the Jewish people who study the Torah. Another custom is the reading of the book of Ruth. Tradition in Israel, we read it all in one day. Here in the diaspora, we get to read it on day number 2. And the story of Ruth is well known, about the Moabite princess who converts to Judaism and how she becomes the great-grandmother of King David. A wonderful read, talking about conversion, about accepting upon themselves the yoke of the commandments, and the story taking place during the period that we are in now in the land of Israel, surely is a reason for reading this book. The greeting for Shavuot, we wish each other Chag Sameach. In the Kiddush, we say on the evening, and during the Tefillot, the services, we add the name Zman Matan Toratenu, the time of the giving of our Torah. Shavuot has a number of names, 4 names in fact. It is called the Chag Shavuot, related to the weeks as mentioned earlier. Zman Matan Toratenu, the time of the giving of the Torah. Chag HaBikurim, the festival of the first fruits. And Atzeret, because it is a pause and is the brackets of the Pesach celebration. We started Pesach leaving Egypt, the physical freedom. Now we receive the Torah, which provides us with our guide and our spiritual freedom as well. I wish you all a Chag Sameach, which is a traditional greeting for Shavuot. May this festival that is coming soon to you be one that inspires you to delve into the mysteries and wisdom of the Torah, to accept upon ourselves the yoke of the Torah, to learn, be inspired, and grow in our learning. Wishing you all Chag Sameach.